Welcome to the Explainer. You know, I am just absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're looking at something that honestly feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's not. It is happening right now, literally on our streets. Picture this. It's a beautiful sunrise over a modern, bustling American city. The streets are just starting to wake up, and gliding silently through the traffic is this sleek white vehicle. It stops perfectly at a red light, lets a pedestrian cross, and then seamlessly takes the corner. But here is the real kicker. There is absolutely no one behind the steering wheel. No hands on the wheel, no feet hovering anywhere near the pedals. It's just a completely empty front seat, safely carrying passengers through dense, chaotic city traffic. I mean, wow, this isn't just some far-off concept or a neat prototype. This is Waymo, the world's leading autonomous driving company. And today, we're going to unpack exactly how this mind-bending reality actually works. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the self-driving reality, then how Waymo sees, followed by training the AI brain. After that, why go autonomous? Then the bumpy road ahead, and finally, the future of transport. Section 1, the self-driving reality, the origins of Waymo. So to really understand where we are today, we kind of have to look back at the roots of all this technology, right? Because it definitely didn't just pop up overnight. Waymo actually began way back in 2009 as Google's self-driving car project. And the ambition was just staggering from day one. Build a vehicle that drives safely, like safer than a human. By 2016, after years of intense AI, mapping, and sensor research, the project really matured and spun out into its own independent company under Alphabet. And today, fast forward to the day, and they've logged millions of miles on real-world roads and billions, yes, literally billions of miles in virtual simulations. Every single journey, whether it's real or virtual, teaches the system something new. Moving on to Section 2, how Waymo sees. Let's look at the autonomous hardware. When a Waymo car is built, it actually starts off a lot like a standard modern electric vehicle. Frame, batteries, electric motors, all put together on a normal automated assembly line. But the autonomous hardware? That is what makes this vehicle truly unique. It relies on an incredibly advanced, overlapping suite of sensors that essentially act as its eyes. First up, you've got LiDAR. That's that spinning dome you see on the roof. It's constantly sending out millions of laser pulses every single second to create a highly precise 3D map of everything around it. We're talking buildings, pedestrians, cyclists, the whole shebang. Then you add high-resolution cameras, providing a 360-degree view, picking up things that lasers just can't see, like the exact color of a traffic light or a temporary construction sign. And finally, radar. Radar adds this invisible layer of perception that performs reliably, cutting right through rain, fog, dust, and total darkness. By combining all three, the vehicle never has to rely on just one source of info. It creates this totally foolproof, overlapping safety net. And this brilliantly illustrates how the AI actually processes all this. Because having the world's best eyes doesn't mean much without a brain, right? All that raw, overlapping sensor data flows into incredibly powerful onboard computers. The AI instantly combines it all into one complete worldview. Then it actively predicts the future, like figuring out exactly how that pedestrian might step off the curb, or if that cyclist is about to swerve. And finally, in mere fractions of a second, it executes thousands of driving decisions. It's taking raw data and turning it into split-second, life-saving actions. All right, Section 3, training the AI brain. How it actually learns to drive. Like we just said, having the world's best sensors is pretty useless without some intensely trained intelligence behind the wheel. And this comparison is honestly mind-blowing when you sit down and think about it. When you or I learn to drive, we rely entirely on our own individual limited experience. If you've never driven in a blizzard before, well, you aren't going to know how to handle it until you're right there in the middle of one. But Waymo uses what's called fleet learning. A Waymo car never learns alone. Every single vehicle benefits from the collective knowledge gathered across the entire fleet. So if one car encounters a super strange intersection in Phoenix, every other car in the fleet instantly knows exactly how to navigate it. But the crazy thing is, they don't even wait for rare events to happen out in the real world. Engineers actually build massive digital cities where they run billions of miles of virtual simulations. They recreate the most difficult, bizarre, and rare situations you could possibly imagine. We're talking unexpected pedestrians darting out into the street, aggressive drivers cutting the car off, sudden heavy rain, complex construction zones, you name it, even erratic emergency vehicles. The AI experiences these absolute nightmares again and again and again in a totally safe digital space, until it learns the absolute safest possible response. Practice literally makes perfect. Section 4. Why go autonomous? Solving human error. Okay, so all this engineering is absolutely fascinating, but what is the actual core societal problem this technology is trying to solve? Well, it really comes down to this pretty grim reality. Human error causes the vast majority of road accidents worldwide. Just think about traditional driving for a second. We get fatigued, we check our cell phones, we speed, we get distracted by stuff happening inside the car, outside the car, and sometimes, tragically, people drive impaired. Human flaws are fundamentally the root cause of danger on our roads, and that right there is the primary motivation for developing autonomous transit in the first place. So, the crucial point is understanding the sheer advantage of going autonomous. A Waymo vehicle, it never gets tired, it never texts, it's never distracted. Its sensors are continuously monitoring 360 degrees all at once, which is definitely something no human net can do. But the benefits go way beyond just avoiding accidents. Just think about the incredible independence this offers for elderly and disabled passengers who maybe can't drive themselves. Imagine significantly smoother traffic flows, lower fuel consumption, and honestly, my personal favorite, drastically reduced parking demand. If we don't need giant parking lots everywhere, we can fundamentally redesign our cities around people instead of just empty cars. Section 5. The bumpy road ahead. Overcoming challenges. Now, as much as we all love that vision, let's be real. There are very real obstacles preventing self-driving cars from being on every single street corner tomorrow. This is still arguably one of the most difficult engineering challenges in human history. I mean, every city is wildly unpredictable. The road signs in Boston look completely different than the ones in Los Angeles. The unwritten rules of local driving culture vary wildly from place to place. Construction can completely change a road layout overnight. Extreme weather can severely reduce sensor visibility, and beyond all the hardware and the software, perhaps the absolute biggest hurdle is building essential public trust. Honestly, earning the confidence of the public is just as monumental a task as engineering the vehicles themselves. Which brings us to Section 6, the future of transport, global expansion. So, where are we heading? If we scan the horizon to see where this technology is going on a global scale, Waymo is already operating ride-hailing services in multiple U.S. cities, and they are definitely expanding. But governments all across the world are watching this incredibly closely. Just imagine this tech in complex, highly dense global cities like London, Tokyo, Dubai, Singapore, or Paris. These are places with super heavy traffic, really complicated historical road layouts, and robust existing transit networks. They represent massive opportunities for sure, but also equally massive tests for autonomous tech. Now, what's really interesting about this rollout is that it sets realistic expectations. The global expansion is not going to be an overnight flip of a switch. No way. It is going to be a gradual transition. It requires a really delicate alignment of local government regulations, rigorous safety validation, accommodating infrastructure, and ultimately, public acceptance. We really have to be ready for it. Which brings us to our final thought for today. Just a generation ago, a car driving itself was pure fiction. It was magic. Today, intelligent machines are carrying real passengers on real public roads, learning to navigate the world right alongside us. Transportation is undergoing its greatest transformation since the invention of the automobile itself. So I'll leave you with this. The future is arriving, but are you ready to share the road with intelligent machines? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.